All right, everybody, into the action we go on this Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. And right off the bat, what we're seeing here is the Bitcoin chart pulling back again. So we've now seen 6 days in a row where we've basically hammered on resistance, the $25,000 level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So far, it hasn't gotten through. Granted, the more you hit on a level, the weaker the level becomes, but that does not, I repeat, does not guarantee that we will break through it. If we do break through it, the next stop is going to be 30,000. Now, I'm still kind of holding on to my Bitcoin position. I'm trying to gauge the probabilities of a break through this level to see if we can't generate some alpha on the Bitcoin position, which is my last long position that I'm holding. Okay, so again, just keeping an eye on that. You guys saw I shorted Matic the other day, so beautiful little short on that. Take a look at Matic here. Look at that beautiful drop off of this upsloping trend line. And again, we are in the money, basically almost 10% now, right around 10% on that one. I'm looking for more, at very least down to about $130, which would be a nice little opportunity right there. In addition, remember just the other day here, I picked up a short on Avalanche. Avalanche got above that $21 level, and again, I pulled the trigger on an Avalanche short at 21 and a quarter. And basically, right now, we're fractionally in the money on that by about 14 cents. And again, classic double top. Again, if you look at this, it's a bigger kind of resistance line area right up here. In fact, if I take a trend line right here, take a look here. So this trend line here, we can just draw that straight across, and that basically marks that resistance here and what we've been bubbling up against in the underbelly of the Avalanche chart. Okay? And again, the beauty of it is, if we look at the open positions, right, it's 1% position in AVAX, Matic 1%, 2% Solana, 3% in Ethereum. So even though we are looking to make some money on the short side, it's not like we're over leveraged by any stretch on the short side in case Bitcoin does have that next move up, which again, I still rank it as less than 50%. Meaning about 40% chance that it breaks through and only about 60% chance it does not. So now again, if we start to peek our heads above this level on Bitcoin, if I flip back to the Bitcoin chart, like if we get back above here, you got to start increasing those odds that you're going to get that move to 30,000. Again, will I look to short Bitcoin? The answer is absolutely. I'm just going to try to time it. Like if we break through 25, I don't want to short it right away. We want to let it at least run to 27, 28, 29, maybe 30, and start, legging into a short on that front at those levels. Okay? So that's where we stand on that front. Again, we just talked about Matic. Let's look at Solana. Solana's having a pullback today. Notice you did hit this resistance line right here on Solana. Got to about $27. Now pulling back to $25.32. Again, we're in the money about 18 cents on this short, which is fine. Basically, as long as this market holds up here, I just want to be right around the break even, give or take, and then when we finally get a pullback, which will happen in crypto, we'll get a flush in crypto at some point, then we can obviously take profits and be deeper in the money on that. Taking a look at Ethereum, let's take a look real quick. Ethereum, folks, is again pulling back just a little bit today. It continues to trade inside of this channel. The only interesting thing on Ethereum is that you could make a case that you're putting in a little bit of a bullish pattern of consolidation here. If that's the case, you're looking for one push up, which pierces the yellow trend line and touches this one here at around 1785, and you can probably guess what I would do there if it hits 1775 to 1785, and that would be to take profits. No, excuse me, not to take profit, to short more so that when it falls, we take profits. All right. Again, to me, this is a major level on Ethereum. And again, it's been a nice bounce. But overall, I don't think we can go out on a limb yet and say that the low is in. So many people ask me, are we still heading to 12,000, 13,000, potentially 9,000? And to me, the answer is yes, because I follow the charts. All right, now the charts still lead us to that probability. Now, if we got above 30,000 on Bitcoin and we actually held there, and I don't mean just, a pierce of it, I don't mean a close above it, I mean we confirm and start staying above there for multiple days, then I think I would have to reevaluate. The charts would tell me to reevaluate whether or not the low on Bitcoin is in when we were down in the high 15,000 range. Okay? So again, and by the way, there's so many narratives being spun right now. We're hearing about the Hong Kong narrative, the China narrative, loosening their regulation on or their kind of, negative rules, if you will, on crypto. I mean, that's one of the narratives being spun right now. The risk on, narrative is obviously a big one that's been propelling it higher. The Ripple judge's decision is expected out in March. That's having an impact as well, with a lot of positive thinking on that, even though I'm not sold on it necessarily being a positive factor for Ripple at this point in time. All right, so lots of stuff going on, and again, the key to us is let's just try to keep a level head. There's so much hype, and again, I come from a stock market background, I come from a commodity background, and there's hype in that market, but there's no hype like you get in the crypto market, which is actually really bad. It's bad for retail. It's actually good for traders, because if you know what you're doing, you can gauge the amount of hype and actually go counter to the hype, meaning that when you get max bullishness and this crazy euphoric nuttiness, you actually look to short, and then vice versa on the long side when you get insanity on the fear side. But for the most part, you want to, for the retail investor, it's actually a detriment, because they get caught in the overall net of the euphoria and the fear. Okay, so that's where we stand on that. Let's take a look. We talked about Ethereum, we talked about Solana, we talked about Avalanche. Let's take a look at BNB. Now, BNB is kind of interesting here, because we do have this kind of downsloping trend line here, if we extend this one out just a little bit, and we are just kind of hovering above it now. Again, interesting to note here that we really have never confirmed. We never confirmed above it here, and now we're back above, but we still haven't confirmed. But I will say this little green move up with this sideways action is actually a small micro bullish pattern. And so that micro bullish pattern would be interesting to see if it leads us to upside in the chart, and if we get one final push up there. If that does happen, look to short the 370-ish level. 370 to me is a huge, huge level of resistance. That would be a good short on BNB. Okay, let's look at Ripple real quick. We'll see what we got on that one. Ripple, same kind of thing. Up move here, lots of sideways chop. You are above this trend line. Again, no confirmation yet, which is remarkable, but nonetheless, you are above it. It is putting in a little bit of a bullish pattern as well. So it's interesting, right? You do have some bullish patterns forming. Now, again, remember, bullish patterns don't guarantee up moves. They just put probability slightly favoring that. So right now, some of these charts, not all of them, like Solana doesn't have it, Matic doesn't have it, but like an XRP does, a BNB does, even Ethereum has a little bit of that as well. So it's just something you want to pay attention to here, that we could be setting up for one more little push to the upside in the crypto realm. And again, just think about this. How do you get max bulls on board? Like you thought it was max bulls when we touched this 25,000 level. Just wait, if you break 25 and head to 30, holy cow, you will get this insane euphoria. And what's so interesting to me is that at 30,000, right, number one, we're not even back to we're just touching the low channel area of consolidation on Bitcoin from the low collapse of the mid-2021 period. This is where it is. And this is why this 30,000 level is epic. All right, and again, this is why, believe it or not, this is why I'm using that level as a pivotal level to determine whether or not a low is in on Bitcoin, is because psychologically this area here is huge. All right, absolutely huge. All right, you can see again, this was the low, and then we went to 69,000. So hugely significant on a psychological aspect. And then over here, you can see how it consolidated and then broke down, and then eventually collapsed back down before moving back up on the Bitcoin chart. But again, if we do break 25, then you have 30,000 on tap. And for me, I would need to see us not only just confirm above 30, but to really trust it, I would need to see probably us stay above for like a week of consolidation, putting in a little bull flag. And then I think you have to start maybe saying that this was your low on Bitcoin during the cycle. Again, as of now, it's not, right? I want to be clear on that. I'm talking about a hypothetical that if it did happen, that would then change the probabilities. And remember, it has nothing to do with what my gut says, with what my heart says, with what my head says. It's all about the charts and probabilities. So I'm just relaying that to you. Whatever the probabilities are, I'm telling you guys. So what I'm telling you here is that if we were to establish ourselves above 30,000 for multiple days and consolidate, then you start saying, okay, probabilities are now flipping that the low is in on Bitcoin. As of now, the low is not in on Bitcoin. As of now, where the charts are. This is a bear market, run-of-your-mill rally. Again, if you look back at 2018, 2019, you had these type of things. 2014 and so forth after the 2013 high. It's all kind of run-of-your-mill. Okay? But again, I mean, how is Bitcoin going to handle some of these things that are getting thrown in? Obviously, you have the positive narratives being spun right now. What about the negatives? What about interest rates going up? The 10-year yield has gone up from 3.4 now to 3.9. All right. The reason why interest rates are so important to risk assets is because it offers an alternative. So when interest rates were zero in 2021 and the Fed was printing money, you had nowhere to stash your cash to make any money on it. Now, the 2 years paying out at 4.7%. I mean, it's incredible how much you can make by just stashing your money in the 2 year, and let alone the 10 year. So again, there's alternatives. So the higher interest rates go, the more money says, wait a minute, do I want to take the risk in a stock, in the market, in crypto, or do I want to get a guaranteed, let's say 5%? And again, that's why rising interest rates are not good for risk assets, because it offers that alternative. Imagine if interest rates, and again, this is hypothetical, it's not going to happen according to what I'm seeing, but imagine interest rates were at 50%. So interest rates were at 50%. Would any of us actually invest any money in like crypto? Or what about stocks? I mean, maybe some of you would. I probably wouldn't. If I could get a guaranteed 50% return by just stashing my money in a bond, dude, done. All right, but again, it's a hypothetical, but I'm showing you how even we all have our price, right? We all have our price that if interest rates, like some of you guys may say, well, yeah, I think we'll get a lot more than 50% a year by going into, I don't know, XRP if it wins. Okay, but that's fine. But now what if all of a sudden interest rates went to 300%? Like, you see what I'm saying? There's always a number that everyone gets to. Now, the bigger the money, honestly, the smaller the percentage return has to be, because people, as they gain money, they start protecting it more and more. Okay. All right. On that note, I don't know if I have a whole lot else. We can take a look at Chainlink here. Chainlink, nice little dump today. No bullish flag there at this point. So, again, that's one of the have-nots in terms of bullish consolidation. I don't see a whole lot there. That's coming in. Uniswap. We can see what we got on that one. Uniswap, same thing. Nice little down move on that chart. Again, not seeing a whole lot there either. So at this stage of the game, let's watch and see how these kind of pseudo-ish bullish patterns continue to form. As of now, most of them are immature, which means the probabilities are just slightly favoring them, not heavily. If they continue to mature and get better, then that would potentially change things on the charts. Okay? All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I will keep you guys posted. If I see any new trades, I will let you guys know, as I always do. Take care.